This is Jeantal Cylla. You're listening to Hawktalk with Easy and the Beards.
The Zooms are right there next to us. Hello, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is episode 2 of Hawktalk with Easy and the Beards. I'm Easy.
I'm beard number 1.
And I'm beard number 2.
I feel like this is NPR when I do this.
Sounds great. Maybe if NPR wants to pick it up, they can.
Hawktalk on NPR. No, but for now we're on Hawktalk Radio and TealTV.
Hawkstream. Thank you. Shout out to them. Today we'll be getting into a few things again. Stick around for the end of the episode. We have a great interview with Jeantal Cylla, who is now in the transfer portal, and we'll be looking at some other schools to transfer to. So why don't we go ahead and kick things off today with baseball. Mike?
Yeah, my favorite. So, baseball's on a bit of a good run here as of late. When last we talked, they were still playing at Towson. They finished off the sweep at Towson on the weekend to start 3-0 in the conference. That's probably for the first time in a while. I'm not sure how far back that was. Towson, again, kind of a bottom feeder in the league this season, at least to this point in time. So those were 3 games the Seahawks needed. They kind of parlayed that into a big midweek win. I know both of you guys were there on Tuesday against number 12, Coastal Carolina, a big walk-off in the bottom of the 9th. Pretty exciting atmosphere. I know you guys were there. What'd you think?
It was great, man. I enjoyed it. The weather was a little chilly, but that walk-off win certainly warmed up the crowd, I'll tell you that.
And then they returned the favor to Coastal Carolina. They played at Coastal on Wednesday. Didn't quite go as well as Tuesday. Took the 9-2 loss, breaking their win streak there. But now they look forward to this weekend, this upcoming weekend. They've got William & Mary coming into town to Brooks Field for their first home series in the CAA. William & Mary, the top RPI team in the league right now. They've got some quality wins this season over the likes of Virginia Commonwealth, West Virginia. They swept Campbell in a series, and that's why their RPI is so high. They did start last weekend in the conference against Northeastern, lost that series 2-1. So they'll be coming in hungry to improve their standing in the CAA. But that's going to be a big series here in the conference early on.
Yeah, it sure is going to be. Now, just go back and touch base on Game 2 of the Coastal UNCW matchup. That was the last matchup of Gilmore and Coach Scaff. I know they have a really long rivalry / friendship that goes back quite some time. Obviously, it didn't end the way UNCW fans would like. Kind of got a little farewell route down there in Conway. But, Mike, if you want to kind of just touch on that a little bit, just that friendship / rivalry and kind of the way that has gone over the years. And I know those two are really close, so it was pretty cool to see that Coastal Carolina did the little farewell and video for Coach Scaff. That was pretty cool of them to do that. So, yeah, that was interesting and fun for them, I guess.
Yeah, no doubt. So, Scaff announced right as the season started that he was retiring. And so, there's some differing viewpoints on that depending on who you ask. But one of the things that definitely came up was, he's going to have the chance to go to some of these places where he's been playing these guys, these coaches for, decades, and just have a kind of a little farewell send-off. And this was the best one to date. He had they mentioned him, they brought him to the home plate in Carolina at Chapel Hill, but nothing quite like this, where, like you said, he's real tight with Coach Gilmore there at Coastal. They had a video kind of tribute, a lot of clips of him being angry on the field. That was pretty cool. And he got an engraved bat and a trip to one of the Myrtle Beach beaches there with a hotel and all that. So pretty cool little send-off for Coach Scaff. You would have hoped the team played a little bit better after all that. Only 3 hits to their credit on the evening. But, hey, all in all, you got to give credit to Coach Scaff for the career he's had.
Absolutely. And then Brody Lawson coming off of CAA Rookie of the Week, some of those stats.
Yeah, Lawson, he's been killing it lately. Got to win his first 3 decisions to open his career with the Seahawks. He pitched a career-long 7 and a third inning
Yep.
and an 8-4 win on Saturday, clinching the series. So he's just been really killing it.
Yeah, he has definitely had a good start to his season. The ERA, a little high, but still doing great. He's got 36 strikeouts on the season, so he's doing well. And then kind of jump into some softball. I know the ladies are coming off of a defeat recently against NC State, but prior to that, they won 2 out of 3 against Towson. Game 1, they won 5-3. Laurel Kuntz improves to 3-0. Lacey Fox hit a walk-off 3-run homer in that game, so it was pretty exciting. Game 2 against Towson, they won 4-1. Riley Pate improves to 9-5. Jada Santiago having another big day at the plate, went 2 of 3, and had 2 RBIs to go along with her home run that she hit. And then Game 3, they ended up losing 8-1. Haley Lenderman ended up taking that loss and gave up 9 hits through 4 innings in that game, 3 runs. And then leading into Wednesday, they ended up losing on the road at NC State. As a team, they only had 3 hits and struck out 14 times, so kind of a low point for them up there in Raleigh.
Yeah, you mentioned Santiago earlier. I mean, she got CAA Rookie of the Week last week, and she's batting .500, 8 for 16 with 2 home runs and 6 runs batted in for the Seahawks.
Yeah, and that was during her week that she won the CAA Rookie of the Week award. In the sweep versus Canisius, which was not too long ago as well, she had a pair of hits, including a solo home run, 2 sacrifice flies, and that 10-1 rout over Canisius. That was, I believe, Game 2 of the doubleheader. I'm not 100% sure, but they ended up needing everything there. And she's actually the only UNCW. Excuse me, I'm sorry. The only the only UNCW player to start all 33 games this season. So she's definitely key to the team's success thus far.
They've had a pretty good season so far, 20-14 so far on the season early on here, 2-1 in CAA play, and that's, if you win 2 out of every 3 games in the conference, you're going to be in a pretty good spot. Some big series coming up here. They travel to Elon this weekend. That is the end of March here. They'll be on the road for a rare Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They usually play the doubleheader on Saturday, but I guess because it's so close, why not play one on Friday? And then they got a makeup game at Coastal Carolina in the midweek. That's on Tuesday, April the 2nd. Next home game for them is a Drexel series, 2 on Saturday, 1 on Sunday on April the 6th and 7th. And one of the reasons why this is big here, Elon and Drexel finished in the bottom of the conference last season. So Elon was 7th, Drexel was 8th. Not to say that this is the same team as last year. Obviously, UNCW is hoping to improve upon last season. But this is an opportunity to rack up some wins in the conference. So it's time to, beat those lesser teams down, step on their throat, as it were, and really rack up some of those wins before you play some of those top-tier teams in the conference.
Yeah, definitely want to win the games you should win. Then jumping into men's tennis, I know they just hosted a home match against South Carolina State. There's actually 2 guys right now playing out of their mind for the men's tennis team. Austin Hussey, who actually won CAA Player of the Week, I believe it's 2 weeks ago now, during the week that he beat a nationally ranked opponent from Miami. His record overall is 9-3 on the season, and got 2 wins, beat the opponents that he played in this recent tournament and got back-to-back wins, 6-2, 6-4. And the team won that 6-1 against South Carolina State, and it was a good outing for them overall. And then another young man, Bruno Calla, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, is also 9-3 on the year, having a great season so far.
Looking forward for them. We're recording this on a Thursday. Friday, March the 29th, they've got Drexel here in town. Sunday the 31st, they've got James Madison. Tuesday, April the 2nd, they've got Campbell. And then Saturday, they finally hit the road. That's April the 6th at East Tennessee State University. So nice little homestand here for the men's tennis team. Again, hopefully they can rack up some wins here in Wilmington in front of the friendly crowd at the Birdcage.
Yeah, the Birdcage. I just figured that name out while I was out there. Yeah, if you're around, come out if you can, depending on when you're hearing this. But yeah, they love the support. So jumping into women's tennis as well. Overall, they just had a match against Elon, and it was their first match since, I believe, the 15th of March.
Yeah, a couple weeks. Both men's and women's have kind of taken a couple weeks off. I'm not sure. I guess maybe that coincides with spring break, perhaps, but that's what it was.
Yeah, and Sabrina Barasano is 9-3 on the season, and 9-4 actually. I apologize. She's 9-4 now after that. I believe that was after the most recent match that she lost. So yeah, she's doing great for the women's tennis team. Jump into a little bit of beach volleyball. I know we briefly touched on that last week.
Yeah, UNCW swept Tuscaloosa, who were 5-0 and edged past Coastal Carolina, who were 3-2 to close the Dig and Dive Beach Classic on Sunday with a pair of wins.
Yeah, and actually, I believe it was the week prior that Maddie Klein, a senior that's really been with the program and kind of helped build the women's beach volleyball program, ended up finishing last week as the new record holder for career wins in beach volleyball. So I know she's having another solid season leading that team. And overall, they've been up and down, but for the most part, I know that this past weekend series that a couple of us got out to, they did pretty well. So I know they got to be happy about that. They earned wins, several of them. Lexi Hamilton was Maddie Klein's partner in that game. Also, Raquel Rooney, a junior, and sophomore Bryn Montgomery won their matches as well. And senior Haley Hunt and J.M. Lewandowski, a sophomore, captured a 3-set win and also helped UNCW out over that tournament.
They went 3-1 on their home tournament, which is pretty good. Aside from that blanking against Florida Gulf Coast, they got blanked 5-0 there against a quality Florida Gulf Coast program. They returned the favor to Tusculum and Morehead State, and then eked out one against Coastal Carolina. Probably their closest rival here, 3-2. So a solid weekend for them. They're a game over 500 on the season, 7-6 overall. And like we talked about last week, they traveled to Georgia State, which is Atlanta, this weekend for 3 games on Friday and 1 on Saturday.
Yeah, so if you're listening to this next week, we'll have a recap for you the following week, more than likely. But if you can, get out to the ATL and go follow the women's beach volleyball team. Soccer. I know soccer starts soon. They recently announced the Harry's game is what it's called, and it's actually a benefit that UNC Soccer has done now. This will be the 7th year in a row they've held Harry's game to benefit children with special needs. UNC Charlotte will be coming to town for that game. It's a 6 p.m. matchup on April 6th. So if you're in the area, to come out and be part of something that's really great. It's all the money and proceeds from the game will go to the top soccer program, Able to Work, Buddy Walk, and the Special Olympics of New Hanover County will all receive proceeds from that game. So come out for a good cause. It should be a good game. I know this men's soccer team has a lot going for them this year. They should be pretty good.
They're always a quality program. They've made the NCAAs the last couple of years running. Much like football is a fall sport in college, men's soccer is a fall sport. And so just like there's spring football, there's spring soccer. So they've got a slate where they play. They played at Wake Forest the other day, took the loss there, I believe. They've got Campbell here in Wilmington on Friday. You're going to miss that if you're listening to this on Tuesday, Wednesday, or something like that. But then Harry's game, like you said, 7 years running. Harry is Coach Aiden Heaney's son, was born with Down syndrome. And so what better way to raise awareness and money for stuff like that, children with special needs. It's a great atmosphere. If you get out there early enough, there's a little clinic I think they put on. There's bounce houses. I was told I cannot go in the bounce house any longer. Food and drink and all that, and it's always a good time. The Seahawks are undefeated in Harry's game, 3-0-3 in the previous 6 games. So always a good time.
Absolutely, yeah. Come out for that. That should be a great event. And then men's golf, give a little recap. Men's golf, I know they got a young man, Oliva Pinto, is playing really well this season. I know he has had a couple top 10 finishes in North Carolina, host Chapel Hill, and they ended up winning the tournament by 6 strokes over 24th ranked Illinois. UNCW finished as a team 13th in that tournament, but Oliva Pinto had another nice outing. Shot a 3-round 72, 73, and a 71 with a total 216 finish. And he finished his first 9 at 2 over, but carded 3 birdies to close out his round to finish at 1 under for the round. Up next for UNCW, they traveled to Clemson, I believe. The Clemson Invitational is from April 5th to the 7th. So if you are down there or want to travel down there, go ahead. That'll be, I believe, yes, like I said, April 5th through the 7th. So not this weekend coming up, but next weekend. So if you are in the area or travel down there, check out the men's golf team.
Yeah, as a team, there was 14 teams up there in Chapel Hill. Yeah, struggling as a team overall, only finished 13th out of 14, but Mr. Olivia Pinto there finished 11th overall. That's of all the competitors.
Yeah,
so considering there's 14 teams, he was one of the top guys in the whole tournament. So kudos to him. The women kind of follow the men there to Clemson. They start their tournament at the Clemson Invitational, I believe, on the last day the men are playing. So they start the 7th, go to the 9th. The men start on the 5th and finish up on the 7th.
And just a little bit of basketball news, men's basketball that has happened over the last few days. UNCW offered a young man named Brian Tollefree, who is 6'4", 6'5" combo guard from Lawrence, Kansas. Played 1 year at JUCO college out that way last year. Looks like he's got some good size, a ball handler that can play. I know as of now we're looking for bodies on the basketball team, so I don't know if me and Mike might be trying out by the end of the season.
I've got eligibility, so
I believe I do too.
Probably not so much speed anymore.
I think I'm a little bit too short to be on team, but hey, water boy or something.
Yeah, something. He might have a spot for you. But for that young man, looking at some of his other offers, honestly, UNCW clearly looks like the best offer he has gotten. When you look at some of the other offers, I believe he's gotten from schools, I wouldn't say they're not on UNCW's level, period. All right, I'm not going to beat around the bush and bullshit you. I'll keep it real. But he's got offers from South Carolina State, Abilene Christian, Central Connecticut State, and Western Illinois. So as of now, UNCW might be the leading front runner for this young man. So hopefully that works out. Looks like he might be a good player and add some depth to this team.
Abilene Christian now an NCAA tournament team,
Yeah. I mean, every 6 years? I'm not sure.
Played Kentucky close in the first round, only lost by less than 40.
Yeah, less than 40. So they didn't cover. No. I'll take that bet.
But yeah, in all seriousness, like you said, I mean, there's going to be a bunch of empty seats right now on the bench if you look at it there in Trask Coliseum. So you got to find some bodies, warm bodies to put in those seats. And interesting to see is from Lawrence, Kansas, huh? Someone else is from that neck of the woods. Head coach C.B. McGrath. So I wonder how much. I don't know if I guess he's probably still got contacts there.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And, eyes out in what's going on over in the Midwest.
I'm sure he'll be excited if he does come. Have a little bit of Kansas connection on that bench with him. Then another little basketball tidbit.
Yeah, Devontae Kaycock, he's playing in the National 3-on-3 in Minneapolis during the Final Four weekend.
That'll be interesting. Yeah, he's on Team CAA. The rest of the team is.
Well, you got Devontae Kaycock. So this is I'm pretty excited about this.
Yeah,
let's
me
say
too,
so.
to be
This
honest
is
with you.
the second year they're doing this. They do it kind of at the same time with the Final Four. I believe this is going down at the Mall of America. So you can actually just go
Holy shit! Yeah, that's how
shopping
big
and
that mall is.
and hang out and watch some quality basketball. Now there's 32 NCAA Division I conferences, and so each conference sends 4 representatives. They're all seniors because this is the winner of the tournament wins a cash prize. So These are all guys that have exhausted their eligibility.
Interesting.
And you play like a round robin. I think you get grouped up into groups of 4. You play round robin, and then there's a final, I want to say it's a final 16 single elimination tournament. And so last year, you might recognize these names: Rokas Gustis, David Cohn, Joe Chile, and Mike Morsel for the CAA went 2-1 in their group play. Lost a tiebreaker, so they didn't make the final 16. But this year, you've got, the one and only Devontae Kaycock from the College of Charleston. You got Jarrell Brantley from Northeastern. You've got Vasa Pusica. And just today, actually, like literally half an hour before we're recording this, Hofstra announced it is, in fact, Justin Wright Foreman
that's okay.
that will be the 4th participant. So if that team's not the favorite to win this, I don't know who is.
True. That's a good point, yeah, because that was the last name I was waiting to drop, because I know for a while a lot of people were wondering why he wasn't announced. But I think the way it works is obviously the player has to accept the invitation.
Right.
So maybe it was just kind of a scheduling thing that he had to make sure he could be a part of. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that too. And on the women's side, in fact, I believe Shrita Parker will be traveling out there around the same time to go through some pro combine workouts. So that'll be exciting for her. I know she's trying to take the next step in her basketball career, so good luck to her at that time as well. So a little bit of basketball for you there.
Yeah, her season didn't quite end the way she wanted to, kind of battled some injuries down the stretch, and then, of course, thought they had a run there maybe at the conference championship in the tournament, but was not meant to be. So good to see for her, and pro basketball could be in her future.
Absolutely, yeah. Good luck to her. Like we said, that'll be exciting for her, I'm sure. But thank you for joining us. This has been another episode of Hawktalk with Easy and the Beards. Stick around for the Jeantal Cylla interview. A lot of great information. A great young man who's got a bright future ahead of him. Thanks for listening. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is another episode of Hawktalk with Easy and the Beards. I'm Easy.
Beard number 1.
And the beard number 2 is actually behind the audio board today, so you'll hear from him a little later. But today we have on Jeantal Cylla.
How's it going?
We thank you for coming out today. This is who our interview will be with this evening, and hope you enjoy. Thank you. Thank you for coming out, Jeantal. Appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
So once again, we take a Division I basketball player away from the television during March Madness. You could be watching some quality basketball, but instead you're stuck in this room with us, at least for a little bit of time.
Yeah.
But we appreciate you taking the time out of your day.
No problem.
And we talked to Kai last week, and kind of similar, man. You guys got some interesting stories. It's not your typical hey, I was born in North Carolina.
Yeah.
School in North Carolina, and that's me. So.
Yeah.
We figured you'd be a prime guy to sit down and talk with here in our second episode. And so let's take it back to South Florida, I guess. So you were born in Lake Worth, Florida?
Yeah, born and raised.
Which is kind of like West Palm
Yep,
area,
West Palm,
right?
yep.
So a little bit north of Miami, a little bit north of Fort Lauderdale.
Yep.
And your parents are of Haitian and Dominican
Yep.
descent, is that right?
Yes.
Talk a little bit about that, kind of growing up South Florida with that
Well,
heritage.
in South Florida, like the diversity is crazy. In my neighborhood, we had 50% Guatemalan, Mexican, Haitian, Dominican. So in that neighborhood itself, like I was around so many different ethnicities. That's one of the major differences in here in North Carolina, especially Wilmington. So that's one of the major differences I've seen. But just growing up, I grew up in a Haitian household. I never got to meet my father, so I don't know anything about my Dominican side or Spanish side. So I grew up with my mom and my 2 aunts, who really raised me. I didn't have that father figure in my Dominican side, but the Haitians, I grew up in a strict household and not having much, but I knew that God had a plan for me, and I think basketball was one of those gateways that I took, and it just skyrocketed me up. I didn't know it at first, but I'm just a young Haitian kid that just happened to touch the basketball one time, and then it just happened to be something I loved, and that brought me free education, and it brought me all across the world. But, the percentages of somebody like me, being here in front of you guys today is very slim. People in my shoes and people like, in my upbringing don't have the opportunity that I have. So, I just thank God every day for the opportunity. But it's a little bit about me. I didn't have much, but, I did not use that as an excuse. Me not having a father, I didn't use that as an excuse. And me, having an immigrant parent, I didn't use that as an excuse. So just anybody out there that just have dreams, or I don't know, whatever you want to be, it's everyone have the same choices in life. People may have different advantages or more advantages than the other, but I didn't look at it like that. I just seen it and just had the confidence and looked myself in the mirror and bet on myself, and God did the rest.
Well, that's the American dream, man. Especially in times like these where it's a hot button topic these days.
Yeah.
But it seems like your mother made a sacrifice and came over here, to raise you and your brother.
Yep.
What did she do? She was a working mother, I assume?
Yeah, working
What
mother.
did she do for a living?
Well, she still works, but she grew up. She worked 2 jobs. She was dishwasher at a restaurant, and then she was when you go to a hotel, housekeeping for a long time. So let you know that we didn't have. You know what I mean? That's not one of those jobs in America. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I always had soap. I always had hygiene. I don't think we always had for free. Yeah. That's one thing we never had a problem with, was having hygiene, like deodorant and soap and stuff like that. We always had, that in stock. But I don't know, just but when I was younger, I didn't really see that as an issue. I didn't know anything. But now that I'm older and I look back and I see my peers and how they was, I'm like, wow, I had it rough, but I didn't see that. Now I do, looking back. But growing up, I was just running around, just trying to look, for different sports.
And how connected were you to that Haitian heritage? Did you ever travel over there? Did she ever go back?
Yeah, it was kind of tough because I was in school, my brother was in school, and she worked 2 jobs, so it was kind of tough. But when she did get a couple of vacation days, she would go up there. But by that time, I was already doing travel basketball. So I never got the opportunity to go. I went one time, but I was really, really young. But I went the last time I remember, I went this past summer with Haiti. So I would say that was my first time because I was fully aware about what was going on, and I remember everything. So I count that being my first time because I went when I was like 3 or 4 years old. Like, I can't really count that, but I got a chance to go last summer and to see my country and see my home, my homeland. It was a very humble experience because, I started to see why everyone is trying to immigrate to the U.S. because there's no opportunity over there. So I think wow, what if my mom never came to the U.S.? Where would I be? Obviously, the opportunity, I'm over here complaining about having only 2 pair of shoes, or people over there have 0, or they have you got to, the next guy up, you get these shoes, and I seen that firsthand when I was over there. I was like, wow, I didn't have much, but I had way more than this. So, that was a humbling experience, and I once again, the game of basketball brought me there for me to see that, I would have never, who knows where I would have been at if I didn't get the opportunity. So it was just a good, humbling experience to go, and I always say if I ever go back, I'll donate something. I gave a few shoes, but I didn't know it was going to be that bad. I wish I could have brought more. But now I know when I go back, just to bring a few things or just to get the kids.
That's pretty cool, man. So you think that trip over there, once you were a little older, kind of renewed how grateful you really are for everything?
Yeah, definitely. First and foremost, getting an education for free. Even I'm not even talking about college. I'm talking about period.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of the times, young kids like that think after elementary school, it's either you work or you work to go to school. I'm talking about 12, 14 years old. So, for me to go to school for free, all the way into high school, not even college, is a blessing. And, the knowledge I have, was able to gain for free. You can't get that in Haiti. Those kids, and sports was just something like they may play for fun, but I got to play the sports and travel with it. And so that national team was, at first, when I first got invited for the training camp, and at the end a lot of stuff happened, but in the beginning, when I first got invited to the training camp, I was like, I never really heard about Haiti basketball, but but throughout the training camp, they kept telling me about the change of the culture, new era, and you have to start it one day. So I was happy to be a part of the start. So, as we played a few games, and I started to see the impact we had on the country, the impact we had on the girls and the boys, that want to play basketball, because Haiti they used to root for I mean, I'm going to the soccer side. They used to root for Brazil. They were rooting for Argentina. We didn't really root for Haiti because we knew we couldn't get far. So, they finally had a team they could root for that was winning. So I think that was pretty cool. And then even though I'm born in a Haitian household, I'm American.
Yeah.
So I'm not really familiar about the country. I went for the first time last summer, but I'm still an American kid. That's all I really know, other than what my mom and my aunts tell me. So I didn't really know too much about the sports and stuff like that. But after playing with the national team, after going there, I realized the impact and the kids that do have internet access, I realized they follow us and they look up to us like, wow, like that's a Haitian kid playing on TV. Or, we have two players in the NBA, like, wow, like Scal and the kid in New Orleans, Noel. Like, so you'll be surprised because, we don't really see too many Haitian celebrities and that, the kids can look up to. So I know I'm not trying to be a celebrity or anything like that, but I was just happy that, I got a chance to put a smile on their face and, told those kids, like, obviously I had more of an opportunity, but Haitians they can do this and they could do that as well.
Yeah, you're absolutely a positive influence,
Yeah.
man. That's awesome. So take us back kind of to when you were young again, and what were your influences, or what kind of made you eventually pick up a basketball? I mean, did you have anybody that was kind of close to you that was playing, or, we know the connection with Jackie, but outside of that, prior to that,
Before that, yep.
what kind of got you into the game of basketball?
Oh, man, it was weird, man. Cause my older brother, he was really more into, I'm not afraid to say, he was really more into the streets. He got into a couple trouble. I mean, he's matured now, but he was more towards that route. I mean, we grew up with no guidance. My mom would work all day, so me and my brother have so much free time. My aunt can only do so much. She has, so I never really had somebody just give me a ball. I don't know. I just, obviously in the neighborhood and, seeing goals out there, my neighbor's house, I'll say my neighbor because he had a goal, a basketball goal, and, we were just normal kids just going out getting a basketball and just shooting the goal. And then, like, I don't know, we just kept playing. But, like, I remember when, it would be at nighttime when it was time for me to go to bed. My mom would come out here and try to snatch me up to go to sleep, but I refused because I just wanted to play more basketball. Like, I remember she used to take my basketballs and put holes in it because she was tired of me dribbling late night. Yeah. She wanted me in my house, because she would come home at around 10 p.m. and I was, instead of me being in the room, I'd be out at my neighbor's house. My neighbor would be annoyed with me. I remember that. But I just fell in love with the game, just loved playing basketball outside. And as I got to middle school, like I never played organized basketball. I never played anything like that. But I was playing in our neighborhood and just have fun with the older guys and stuff like that. It's just something I love to do. But it was Jackie's uncle and Jackie's dad. They were like the middle school coaches where I was at. Mm-hmm. And, I guess they seen something in me that, I didn't see myself. I was just a kid that was just running around. I won't say a troublemaker, but I was just a goofy kid, not really serious about. I like basketball, but I didn't think it was gonna, take me where I am now. But I just like to play. But one time in intramurals, they just see me playing, and they put me to the side, and it was just saying like try out to the team. And I don't know, we just developed a relationship because, like I said, I never had that guidance, and he knew that, and he kind of just took that role immediately. Was just there for me, and then was teaching me about the game and telling me about Jackie and how Jackie's doing this and that. And I'm like, I don't know anything about college basketball. I don't know about North Carolina Tar Heels. I don't even know about UM. I don't know. I was just playing basketball. I didn't think about college basketball. I don't even know it was such a thing at the time. Because I didn't have nobody in my family in college. I didn't have, we didn't watch TV or like that for us to know there was college basketball. But he was telling me about Jack and telling me his accolades and stuff like that. And then that's when I first played organized basketball for my middle school. And then he was giving me hope, and he was giving me pretty much a dream, like, wow, you could do this and do that. And then I just went forward with it. And went to high school, and then I had another mentor as well, my high school coach there. And then I just almost like they kind of kept me in line. My middle school coach and my high school coach kind of kept me like, kind of like clear everything out. Like you could do it. So got a scholarship, and it was it from there. But I would say before, I got to middle school, it was just me just, playing around in the streets and stuff like that. But Jackie's uncle and dad really like saw something in me that they taught me the game pretty much. Like they taught me the fundamentals of the game, and they taught me, told me about college basketball and told me about, obviously I knew the NBA, but I wasn't really a dream that I was really going for at the time.
Yeah, you think they kind of instilled that work ethic in you too?
Yes, definitely.
Because you don't get to D1 basketball without working hard.
But I
so.
just, obviously I grew a little bit, and once you play basketball every day, it started to be something you really love, and then once you get a little bit of hope, that's when that drive and like, wow, I can go to college for free. Wow, I can play college basketball. Like, I don't have to pay anything. Like, okay, I think that right stuff motivated me. Like how I was raised, I think motivated me, gave me that work ethic. You can't make nobody work hard. You can't. Either you're a hard worker or you're not. There's no such thing as being in between. Like, and I think I don't know, just my upbringing and not having much. I think that motivated me to want something. I think that made me work, and I was blessed enough to receive an athletic scholarship, and I took it, and that's where I am now. But yeah, either you're a hard worker or you're not. You know, and then some people are. I think a lot of times, guys that don't work hard had a lot of stuff handed to them, and I think sometimes that could really stop somebody from working hard because they know that they've been, silver spooned all their life.
Yeah. No, I agree 100% with that because you see that, I think, even in the pros to a certain extent, where you get guys that for so long have been either the best player or have the most talent, and then they get to that level and everybody catches up with them. And it's either you have that work ethic or you don't.
Yeah, I was wondering, like, you give a guy so much, those millions of dollars, would he still would he work as hard as he did to get there? Like, it's always pretty tough. So that's why I admire, like, a Kobe Bryant and his story. LeBron James, like, those guys they're set for life, and they still wake up, before everybody and still leave after everyone. Like, that's dedication right there.
Well, yeah, and that's what separates good and great, right?
Yes, for a fact. But that's not easy to do, because, I mean, I don't know if someone gave me $150 million contract, I have to be really dedicated to wake up early knowing that I'm set for life. It's like, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Would I be comfortable? Who knows? People say they wouldn't be, but come on, let's be serious. Like,
until you're in that position.
Until you're in that position, like you have a Bentley and a mansion. I don't know if you might not wake up the same. You might wake up and be like, man, I might take a day off today. Like, I'm already there.
Yeah, you're 100% right.
So who knows? You can't really judge that until you're in that position. That's why I do respect the LeBrons and the Kobes, like, because I know that's not easy to still have that work ethic, still take care of your body. LeBron's been so dominant for this long of a career. Like, you have no choice but to respect that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, so as you're in high school there, did you have a lot of coaches coming around from these D1 programs kind of, telling you what could be?
Mm-hmm. Yes. I was able to get like about 10 divisional offers. From
So it's a fair number of
yeah.
offers,
But I had a few high majors. I was, like Virginia Tech was really on me kind of hard, but I had in my mind that I was gonna stay close to home, so my friends and family could see me play. I really wanted to go to University of Miami. That was like one of those schools that's my, like, okay, I'm a fan. Like,
was Larrañaga there at that point?
He just got there around that time. That's when they had Shane Larkin, Kenny Kaji.
Wasn't Dorsey? That was after. Tyler Dorsey wasn't?
Nah, he was at Oregon, I think.
Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry.
But they had Shane Larkin, they had Kenny Kaji, Durant Scott. They won the regular season title, and that was around, I want to say, my sophomore year, 2013, and that's when I really caught my attention. Right there at University of Miami, they was creating a buzz. So I was like, wow, I want to go to University of Miami. I was able to be in a recruit list, so I got to go to the games for free. So I would go to like 1 or 2 games, every other, home games they would have, but they just never really processed the offer. So that's when I went to Florida Atlantic with Mike Curry for my first 2 years.
Yeah, I look back, it looked like you had a lot of, pretty respectable offers. You mentioned Virginia Tech, Oklahoma State, Tennessee, Rhode Island. ECU. Good thing you threw that one out. But yeah, it looks like, looking at all that, it looks like staying close to home was kind of important to you, certainly at that point in time. And like you said, a coach like Michael Curry, former Pistons head coach. What was that like coming into a D1 program with essentially an NBA coach there?
Yes, so I remember when we did the in-house visit, his assistant coach was Eric Snow from the Cavs, like, and I didn't know who Michael Curry was. I mean, I did research and seen, but I knew who Eric Snow was, and those guys were sitting on my couch with the in-home visit, telling me that they think I have a shot of being a pro. When those guys they seen it, they coached it, and I first before the Atlantic, I'm like, okay, I don't really know too much about. I mean, they're close to home, but I don't know if I'm going to stay that close. But once you have Mike Curry and Eric Snow in your living room telling you that they see you being a pro and they feel like you can come right away and give their program an impact, and I'm close to home, I'm like, this is a no-brainer. Like, if all comes down, like, they're going to take care of me after college. Like, I know they're going to make sure I'm fine. That was my mentality. I was younger, but my mentality was, if anything goes wrong, I know that for a fact that they'll put me in front of some people, and I ended up going there. I did start. They said I was going to start. I started 2 years there. But it just, we had a lot of conflict off the court. That was more the certain players we had, and had a lot of distractions, and it was just a lot of stuff. Because he was his first year head coach. He had no really college experience, and, he couldn't really control us as a group. And we had a couple older guys that was just, that wasn't really bought in. And I think that had the overall effect in my 2 years there. And that was, one of the reasons I think they let him go.
Did you like staying close to home? Was your family able to come and watch you play?
Yeah, it was fun because, I'm a freshman and I was able to play right away. Most freshmen don't get that opportunity to play, to start or play, 20 minutes a game. And I got that
26. Over
yeah.
26
So
freshman year.
I got that opportunity and I was like, okay, like I'm blessed. My family comes to see me play. I'm in front. I'm playing a Division I schedule. And Conference USA at the time I think was pretty tough, especially for incoming freshmen. You're playing against grown men.
Yes, big
And,
dudes.
I think I had an all right freshman year. It was pretty fun.
And then, so like you said, 2 years go by and maybe it's not the fit you thought it was.
Yeah.
So I imagine the Jack Emanuel connection
Yes.
kind of plays into the factor
Yeah.
to.
So it was it was rumors going around on campus about us getting a new AD. So when a new AD comes, he fires the football coach. He fired the women's basketball coach. I think he was clean. Like, this is before Lane Kiffin. So
Oh, yeah, cleaning house.
yeah, cleaning the house. So we were struggling as far as like sports. So everyone knew that our coach was going to be next. And I was like, man, if it's not this year, for a fact it's going to be, next year. And I was like, I don't know if I would want to go to my senior year with a coach I don't know that didn't recruit me. I'm playing. That's a risk. I don't know what can happen, in that situation. So, I put my name in the release list, and Jackie Mayo, Dad actually hit me up first. Was like, is it okay if Jack calls you? I think he's about to get a job at Wilmington. I said immediately, you can call me ASAP. Like, somebody I looked up to as a player. Now he recruited me a little bit because he was at Greensboro as a coach. But like I said, I was so bought into being home. So it was crazy how he came back around that. He was at Wilmington. I was like, at this point, I'm a little older now. My family, got to see me play, plenty of games now.
Yeah.
And, I just need the right fit. And I just visited Wilmington. It was nobody on campus, but I got to meet the coaches and, we developed a relationship with Coach Wolf that was here. He was a pretty nice guy, had a great resume, and I heard he had a great skill development, so that was a pretty good, pitch for me. I came over here and I enjoyed it.
That'll happen pretty quickly because CB was hired, in April, I guess, right after the NCAA appearance?
Yeah. I don't think he was there for a month after, I think I got a job for a month and I came right away.
Yeah. And were there any other choices there, or was it pretty much?
Yeah, I mean, I had a few choices as far as, Murray State. That was,
McMahon, right?
Yeah,
he was an assistant here under Buzz.
Yeah, I didn't know that. UCF, all the schools are doing great in the tournament now. It's crazy. You know what I mean? Those schools are doing great. But at the time, it was still, getting over that hump. Yeah. But at the time, before, we still was going a lot of buzz because I looked up, UNCW, and I remember them playing Duke, and I remember playing Virginia. I'm like, oh, this school, it's a pretty good school. Because, obviously, we're still back-to-back champs at the time. We haven't played a single game with Chris McGrath yet. So I'm looking at those schools like, okay, UCF is good, Murray State is good, but, we lead the league in attendance in the CAA. We're back-to-back champions. It's a new coach, but it can't drop off that much. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you're not thinking that. Like, you're still basing on the past season because the fan base was incredible. You know, as a recruit, you do a lot of research. And, like, wow, you know, Wilmington is a basketball town. It's one, you know, they've been winning. They've been winning.
Yeah.
You know, so I was like, you know, obviously no-brainer. Like, I want to come in here and continue the legacy. It was like more like a legacy tradition thing.
Yeah.
It would become more, once you win 2 back-to-back championships, like, you know, I think the year before that, they still won a regular season or something like that. So it was becoming a tradition, like a winning culture, which I wasn't familiar with at Florida Atlantic.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, wow, you know, it's a no-brainer. Like, I want to come in and win. I want to come in and meet, you know, North Carolina different. You know, the beach was kind of similar to West Palm. It's not Florida, but
not Florida, but yeah.
I could do.
There's some sand in the beach.
Yeah, I could do North Carolina weather.
Yeah.
Especially in Wilmington.
Yeah.
And specifically.
It ain't too bad.
Not too bad. And I was like, wow, because I came in the summer, around May, summertime.
Oh, so
and
the
it was,
first impression.
I was like, wow, this feels like Florida.
Yeah.
You know, so
For a little bit.
for the most part, I
part.
give it that. For the most part,
Yeah.
like obviously it gets a little chilly, but I could do.
A little less traffic
Yes,
than
yes,
like, West Palm, right?
Yes.
Well, and yeah.
I could do this weather. I could do this.
Yeah.
It's pretty chill. It was. Wilmington's a good area. Wilmington's a good area, but yeah. So that was one of my main decisions. My reasons why I decided to come here because of it. Well, mainly because Jack, but it wasn't just he didn't come to a program that was won 5 games or 10 games. He came to a program that already had a lot of buzz. So that was one of the main reasons.
Yeah, it wasn't like they were rebuilding or anything.
I mean, in my eye, I wasn't seeing it as rebuild.
No, not
we
at
still
all.
had
Devontae.
Devontae Kakar. I didn't know who he was, but after doing my wow, this guy, he's gonna be a monster coming back. We had him 2 years.
Yeah.
Oh wow, I got to play. I get to see him for So I was Jordan. We still had a couple pieces on the team from Coach Keith's era.
Yeah.
So you automatically think it's a good situation. Like I got me to sit out and see what's going on and see how the system is. I got a chance to sit out and really kind of see how things play out.
Yeah.
So
yeah, talking about that year that you sat out, I mean, from how you probably arrived on campus and even, back when you were in high school, the transformation your body has gone through and that you put yourself through. I mean, a lot of people think, in that year when you're sitting out, yeah, you're going to learn the system, you're going to get familiar with everybody, but you probably were working just as hard as you would have been if you were playing, right?
Yes.
So take us through kind of that transformation you went through and all that work you put in that year off.
Man, sitting out is never easy because I played back since freshman year to sophomore year in college. I've always played in the game. At least, I played. I didn't thank God I never got injured, so I always played every year. So having going to a year when you don't play 0 games just for watching and practice. After December, practice is just going over plays and going over the other team's plays. Not really much up and down. So I knew that it was tough, but Coach Jack and Coach E and Coach Wolf, like, they treated me as if I was playing that year. They didn't. I think sometimes coaches, like, when they have a guy sit out, they use them on a scout team, but kind of like have them on hold to when they're eligible.
Yeah.
But the coaching staff did a great job of like making me still feel like I was playing. Like I feel like I was playing up until the first game, almost. Yeah. That's when it really hit me. Like, wow, I can't suit up.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was doing everything they were doing, playing, going up and down, being on a team. Obviously with strength conditioning, everything. I was the only sit out, so I still felt like I was playing. In the first game, that's when it really hit me. But the coaches did a really good job of like having me do an hour workout before the game, or after practice, doing extra after practice, like still keeping me trying to keep me in shape. Obviously doing way more than the team was doing because they have to keep their body fresh for the games.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have to keep my body fresh, so I was going hard. Like even when they come back and you could say, "Hey, Gene, relax, Gene. We were walking through," but I'm treating it like a game, you know. So I treated the practice like a game, and Ben, he did an unbelievable job, like with strength conditioning. He's the best I've seen because like the way he was able to transform he gave me a vision, but I didn't see it. He's like, I'm gonna get you to 218. I'm gonna get you to 220, And I'm like 195. I'm like,
Yeah,
200.
that's-
I'm like, come on, wow. I'm not,
Yeah,
that's
calm
too
down.
much. Calm
Calm
down.
down.
And then, wow, as soon as,
Yeah.
next thing you know, I'll step on the scale. I'm like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
220.
Yeah,
Like, wow. Like,
I mean,
but me and Ben, we developed a relationship. We had so much one-on-one skill, strength workouts. Like, a lot of, even when we come as a team, the team will break down, and I continue to go, like, because I just wanted to transform my body and become more of a, I have aspirations of being a pro, and I knew I was a real skinny kid. Like, but my old staff, after that landed, they were NBA coaches, so they didn't really believe in bulking. They was more as far as core and
cardio,
cardio,
like
band, and my strength coach over there was had to pretty much had the plan from what Coach Curry gave them. But Coach McGrath gave Ben the freedom to do whatever you need to do, and Ben did an unbelievable job with me. Now he's doing Marty this year, but I didn't believe I was gonna be 215, 220. That's a lot of pounds for somebody that was $195.
Yeah.
So
I mean, yeah, that's shout out Ben Fleming.
but shout out Ben
This
Fleming.
is another guy we got in here talking.
Never a bad word said about
No,
strength and
no,
conditioning
not at
stuff.
all.
Those dudes are
No dudes,
good dudes.
Kyle,
Legit.
Johnny,
Yeah.
those dudes are like
They're legit.
they're legit. They're serious about what I like that because we're able to have fun in the weight room,
Yeah.
but still get a lot of stuff done. Like it was pretty fun. It was tough because I've never lifted so much before, but I got used to it and I just fell in love with it. So I used Ben, they do some extra. You just went yesterday, Gene. I know, but I just want I became something I just love to do. So shout out to Ben Fleming because he really transformed my body. Like if I can give somebody credit, like he transformed my body on that, the strength level.
Yeah, it was clearly visible. I mean,
Yeah.
you can look at how you looked in high school, or even leaving Florida Atlantic
Yeah,
compared
yeah.
to now. I
Yes.
mean, it's legit. And you even won an award.
Yeah, I did.
That you're off.
I
I
did
mean,
win
for
an
a guy
Iron
that's
Man.
not playing in the sport he's supposed to be playing in, to win an award for the work he put in the gym, I mean, congratulations.
Yeah,
man.
thank you.
I mean,
Thank you.
that's,
That was big. I
that's
didn't
great.
think I was gonna get anything. I just went to. I wasn't gonna go to the banquet.
Yeah.
Truthfully, I was like,
Yeah,
I'm gonna support my team, but
Yeah.
I don't know if I was gonna. And Ben texted me, "Are you coming to the banquet?" I'm like, "All right, I'll come." But I know why he texted me
Yeah,
because he
yeah.
had a award for me.
Yeah.
Like, but that's crazy. But yeah, thank you.
That's awesome, man.
I mean, we heard nothing but compliments from the coaching staff, from everyone about your year off, about how how great it was,
Yeah.
how positive it was for not just yourself but for the entire team. And so, you fast forward to 2018, 2019. What was it like finally?
Oh man, it was,
Approaching those exhibition. I know the hurricane kind of
Yes.
threw things off and all that, but I mean, were the nerves there?
Yes.
More than ever.
yeah, the hurricane did throw things off. Especially, and we didn't get to do any scrimmages, like
Right.
to
like
get
closed door
Yeah,
scrimmages.
closed door scrimmages. We were a little off schedule. We didn't even do the Midnight Madness. We didn't, so it was
Yeah, a
kind
lot
of like,
stuff.
we was got to go home for a few weeks, and we came right to day one of practice. It wasn't like we was able to do individual work or anything like that. So we jumped in the fire, but I was so excited. I didn't really care about Florence. It wasn't gonna affect my play or anything like that. But we just we played Clemson for our expedition.
Right.
That's not regular.
Welcome back. Here's Clemson.
Yeah, that's not
Right.
regular. Cause we didn't have too many practices before Clemson. We played them tough, but that was my first, my first game back versus Clemson that was going to be ranked at the time. I was just out of shape, game shape. You can never simulate the game shape, but I was just happy that the year went by, fast, and I was able to go up and down. But I started off slow, but you can't really the rhythm. You can't really. It's not something you can simulate in practice, and what goes on in the basketball IQ and goes on in the game, that's tough to simulate. But I would say, that's why I can't thank the coaches enough. That's why when I decided to leave here, I had to explain to everyone that I don't want you guys to think that the coach, did me wrong or it was a back and forth thing. Like these guys, they let me play through my mistakes. They knew that I would eventually get better and get back in rhythm, so they gave me the opportunity. A lot of coaches, you don't got it now. Next up,
On the bench you
you
go.
know. So yes, so they let me play through my mistakes, and once you let a guy play through his mistakes, confidence, and I'm like, man, I've been here before. I got 2 years of experience, and that's when I was able to, right before Christmas break, I was able to go through a strong stretch.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
and I thank the coach for believing in me. And still, even when I was, I don't want to say the first 5 games, I was 0 for 15 from 3. I didn't hit a 3-point shot, but they kept telling me, Gene, shoot the 3, shoot it, shoot it, shoot it. So,
Well, yeah,
so they definitely believed in me, and they definitely had one of the reasons why I had a couple good stretches.
yeah, you said you went 0 for 15, but then in that next game you went 5 for 7 against
Yes,
Gardner-Webb.
yes,
So
yes.
it got him point real quick. But yeah, so let's kind of go over the season that just ended. I know you guys didn't kind of get to where you wanted
Yes,
to. It
man,
didn't end
yes.
the way you wanted. And from the outside looking in, at least from my perspective, I thought you were kind of the perfect guy to have playing with Devontae, right? Somebody that could stretch the floor, maybe play in the low post a little bit too, and kind of take some of that pressure off of him. It kind of didn't work as I thought or the way I know you guys wanted it to, but kind of take us through kind of how that was and how, you developed your game. Obviously, you said you didn't start the way you wanted, but I mean, you ended up finishing the season averaging good numbers, averaging, I think, over 15, 14 a game.
14, about 14.
Yeah. So, I mean, you ended up getting there. So tell us what that transition was like and kind of breaking out of that slump and kind of where you saw the season for yourself.
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, starting off slow, which I kind of expected because I haven't played in a year. But I didn't. I wish I would have got it the next game too. But it doesn't work like that. Basketball doesn't work like that. But throughout the season, the coaches gave me confidence in my team because I'm not an incoming freshman. So I'm a redshirt junior. So the team needs a leader. The team needs a captain. So I couldn't beat myself up because I was one of the most experienced guys. We were still young, and I even though I sat out, I was still one of the most experienced guys. So the coach was telling me that. So I had to become a leader. I had to try to take over games as much as I can. And one thing I know about college, if I could take one thing from college basketball, it's all about situation. If you're not in the right situation, you're not gonna succeed as a guy that's in a good situation. It's all about the perfect fit. Mm-hmm. That's why guys transfer. That's why guys stay because they know, it's all about the fit. And the coaches made it more as comfortable as possible for me, and they kept feeding me compliments, feeding me positivity, and once I seen the ball going, I think probably been after the North Carolina game, that's when confidence started rising for me a little bit, and I just started to keep going. And then as far as Devontae, he's such a dominant player that teams double him, and when the teams double team him, I'm like, okay, you're gonna double team him, I'm gonna make you pay. Like, okay, go ahead and double team him then, and I'm gonna show you that you might have to double team me. Like that was one of the things that kept me as a competitor. I feel sometimes you need some things to motivate you. You might say things to yourself like double team him. Leave me. Okay, like all right, let me show you something. So I think that playing with him made it easy because I wasn't a guy that we got to stop Gene at the beginning of the year. I wasn't the major point of going to the Devontae was, and I took advantage of that. Because there was every game plan. I mean, if I'm a coach, I'm trying to stop Devontae too. So every game plan was to stop Devontae, trying to make it hard for him. So when I noticed that, I was like, wow, I feel kind of bad for him because he's getting triple teamed and so I was like, okay, I have to be aggressive now. And then the things start opening up. I think I started making it a little bit easier for Devontae in conference play. Yeah.
Devontae did shoot better from the 3 than
Yeah.
than you did, percentage-wise.
Yeah, he was the best 3-point shooter on the team, percentage-wise.
Yeah, I was gonna say, percentage-wise, he sure was.
Best 3-point shooter on the team. I'm glad he made that one.
Yeah,
that was his plan to shoot the 3, and he made it.
Yeah, I'm glad he did too.
That was a great day.
That was a great day. Great day.
I mean, I guess just talk about some of those, ups and downs of the season. So, I mean, that was in the Hofstra game. I mean, beating Hofstra at home, last home game of the season. They were the top team in the league.
Our senior night,
It didn't get any better than that. But then, you had, obviously, there were some games that were kind of the opposite of that.
Yeah, man. It was very inconsistent for us, man. The most frustrating thing, was seeing our talent and seeing where, at Spurs what we're able to do and what we're doing. It just didn't last for, the whole stretch.
And you're right. You have, Devontae was first team conference. Yeah. Kai was, rookie of one of the rookie teams of the year. You were kind of a touted guy coming in as a transfer. Like you said, there's spurts here and there where there's some talented dudes.
Yes.
it just for some reason it kind of just wasn't.
Yeah.
All the pieces weren't fitting
They're
together.
not fit together, man. So I think they'll be fine next year. I think now we know what to they know what to expect, and we have some young guys. I mean, Kai played 30 minutes a game, even though he did it well. But we asked a lot of him for a freshman.
Mm-hmm.
So we had to play through his mistakes. We're expecting to make mistakes. I mean, the ball's in his hand. You know he's gonna turn the ball over a few times, but
it's only natural.
Yeah, but average, second leading guy and assist in the country. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
So they have that coming back. A guy like Jay, he's more confident the more he's a really good shooter. I think he wasn't as aggressive as I think he should have been this year. But I think guys like me, Devontae leaving. I mean, a guy like Jalen Sims, like they have no choice but to be aggressive. And those guys work hard.
Ty too.
Ty Gaston's throughout his hands down one of the best shooters, obviously, because he's just a natural shooter.
Yeah.
Because he's been.
Yeah, you can tell.
People don't understand that Ty only been playing 75% of what he can do. He hasn't been 100%.
Yeah.
I want to say 70%.
Yeah,
he's been dealing with an injury that's been really holding him back.
Yeah.
So I think after he does this, I think he's doing surgery. May have some surgery in the next couple of weeks. I think Ty G is really gonna show like next year, really, because he, beginning of the year he didn't start and stuff like that, but I think Ty G's gonna really make some noise.
Yeah, I think injuries definitely played a role. And
yes,
obviously with Kai
Yeah.
playing those minutes, if Jackie is healthy, like you said, if Ty's healthy, you know what I mean. I think it might be, a little different when it comes from that point.
Yeah, but still we had some guys even with that were healthy that I think we could have still made some noise. But basketball that's how it is. You got to come back next year, different game plan, and figure it out. But it was tough because for me, it was tough because I looked at it like, man, I wanted Devontae to finish off with he deserved it. I wasn't even looking for it. At my standpoint, I was like, wow, this guy did so much for the university. I was so happy we won a senior night for him. I was like, man, if we don't win anything, we have to win on his senior night.
Yeah.
And I know he gave so much to the university, and I kind of because he's so emotional and he's a competitor and he's used to winning. I think he probably lost before I got here. I don't know, probably lost.
Not much.
Not much. Not much. And so it's kind of I was looking at it like, hey, man, like I wish we could have did more for him, but he'll be fine. He'll be a pro and stuff, and he'll be fine.
Yeah, for sure.
You mentioned senior night, for guys like Devontae now, looking back now, you kind of don't really have that opportunity here. Did your family get to see you play at all here while you were at UNCW?
No, on TV versus North Carolina a couple of times in the network, but then they didn't get to come to a Wilmington game.
Gotcha. And then, I think you and I are kind of on the same page here with the guys that are still here. I mean, it seems like those, kind of 7 or so guys, really tight-knit. I mean, they're all seems like they're all on the same page.
Yes.
You mentioned, like, when you got here, there were some guys that were still here with
Yeah,
with the new guys.
It was obviously, it's always, that's everywhere in the country. When a new staff comes in and some of the old players from the old staff still there, it's almost like you have to start a relationship. And, those guys didn't recruit you. You were there before those guys got there. So now we have to find a common mutual ground, or now we have to, the system you used to playing in college, or the reason you were recruited to come here is different now.
Yeah.
You can't, come on, you can't think the role you're going to have is the same. Sometimes it works out, but most of the time it's tough. So,
it's no different than if you got a job somewhere, you get a
Yeah.
new boss, and all of a sudden your tasks are a little
Yeah.
bit different.
It's different. It's just, sometimes, this game of basketball, college basketball. This is Jeantal Cylla. You're listening to Hawktalk with Easy and the Beards.
That's part of it.
As far as, the more years I played, the more I start to understand that. Like, okay, I see why this is that. So, my hands are tied with those. Players can only play, and the coaches handle everything else. But, but now this quarter that's coming next year, it's all, people that they expected, that people that they know that was coming in. They recruited. So obviously, when you recruit someone, you know what they can do. You know their weaknesses, their strengths, and you know what you want them to do for the program.
You already have an idea of the role you want them to play.
Yes, as far as of coming here and having people already there.
Yeah.
Now you got to make a role for them that they may not be used to, or they may not ever
Want to do.
Yes, want to do. but they're here, so sometimes we have to figure it out, you know. So, and I think this year, I mean, you know, rebuilding. I want to say again, but
Yeah, a little bit.
little bit, but
Just fresh. There'll be some fresh faces, but there'll be some guys here, like we've talked about, that have built something already, that have
but
some connection, and you know.
I mean, I think we have the best point guard in the league. My
Period.
opinion.
I mean, going into next season, I don't see any reason why he wouldn't be considered one of the top 5, 10 in the country. I mean, if it wasn't for Ja Morant, I think Kai maybe gets some more national recognition.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's a lot of assists.
Yeah.
That's a lot of assists.
Period.
For a freshman, come on.
Period.
If it was a senior, I think it would have been a lot of.
Oh,
He set the record in the conference.
Yeah,
I mean,
he set the
that's
record
for anyone.
Yeah.
For anyone, yeah.
And I think also, I think if we would have won a few more games, I think he would have been recognized as well.
Yeah.
I definitely would have won freshman of the year.
Yeah.
I think he got
It was
snubbed.
close even as it was.
I think he should have won
I'll
it.
keep saying he got robbed.
Yeah.
No one else wants to say it.
I think he should have won it,
Damn.
but sometimes
It is what it is.
They want
Whatever.
They look at the wins and losses and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I really have confidence in those guys. I'm still rooting for those guys.
Yeah.
You know, I have no, I'm not salty about anything. I love those guys. My brother, don't get me wrong. I planned on coming back because I still have a bad taste in my mouth in the Colonial. Like, man, we're so talented. I think we got a chance. But coming back, Devontae's not here, but I still was confident enough. But it just, I was talking to my friends and family, and a couple of things came up that I had to, listen to. Like, oh wait, hold on, and it being my grad year, and this grad transfer stuff is becoming very popular and very, like something that coaches really are interested in now. Like, it's becoming something that every program is starting to
It's
really.
part of their roster. It's part of what coaches do now when they go into that recruiting season, right? It's like a whole new level of recruiting, right?
Yeah.
You're recruiting veterans almost. You're recruiting guys that have college basketball experience, that have been doing it. So, I mean, yeah, it works both ways, and we had talked about it before, and I don't think a lot of people realize you're about to graduate.
Yes.
You're trying to go get your grad degree.
People were surprised.
I mean that, and I think that's something that a lot of people don't understand or realize, and especially probably from a fan perspective, is he's leaving, right? So people want to assume there's something going on when that's just not the case. And the other thing I think too that I feel like I have to say is what's always right for the student athlete is not always right for the university.
Yes, sir.
So, and it's not from a selfish perspective whatsoever. It's from you bettering yourself and going forward in your career and in your life. Because like we've talked about too, which you can get into a little more, there is no hard feelings. There is no turmoil or whatever that people want to speculate about. That is not the case.
Yes, I was, luckily, like, I was blessed to play for some great coaches because they still, called me last couple of days after my name was in the portal, was saying, Gene, whatever I can do to help you, I will help you. And if you having second thoughts, man, we can have a meeting. If you want to come back, we'll have a meeting to see what we, So the fact that they did that let me know it was no, I didn't burn any bridges. Like, I just, I was talking to my friends and family. It was just something I just had to look at going to my grad school and going to see these master programs and going to play at the highest level if I can. Like, come on, if you get an automatic bid in a tournament, it's way much easier than having to win 4 games in a row or winning 3 games in a row, which I know we're capable of doing. I have confidence that they will do that. But it's just, having to have that experience, like I said, going back with a young kid like me, didn't have too much opportunity. So when something opens up like that, it's kind of hard for me not to take it. Yeah. And for me not to at least look at it or hear it out. And now, I'm going from a kid that had never thought about graduating college for 2 degrees. Mm-hmm. Come on, I mean, that's something I have to really think about and something I have to really be serious about. Yeah. Because, I'm here now. Yeah. I beat the odds, so why not attack it? Why not
keep going?
Why not keep going? Yeah. So, possibly getting 2 degrees, and come on, that's something that, my mom can't be happy enough about that. Like, so.
I don't think people can be mad at you about that either. I mean, if you are, whatever.
Yeah, but but at the end of the day, like I tell, I am an alumni. I'm about to graduate and get my
Yeah.
degree from UNCW.
Well, yeah, and
Like,
that's
you know,
what,
I'm always gonna have that degree. Nobody can take that away from
and
me.
that's the thing
It's,
too.
you know, so it's not like I just transferred and I got my degree here. I owe the school. You know what I mean? Like, I respect the school,
Yeah.
and I'm an alumni forever.
Yeah.
You can never take that away from me, no matter, you know, what the circumstances is. I'll always have a UNCW bachelor's degree forever.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm always gonna be a Seahawk. You know, so
Well, yeah,
I don't want to see. I don't want to make it seem like, you know, I'm leaving the pro. I mean,
Yeah.
I got my degree here. You know.
Like we're supposed to erase your
Yeah,
name or something.
yeah.
Like, oh, yeah, it was never here.
You know?
But I mean, for you too, I think. So is that something that that's your ambition, kind of, is to go to a Power 5? Then you
Yes,
think like if that opportunity is there.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I've been, you know, once the grad year became something I was very attractive to. I didn't know as much. Now I know, you know. So I've been getting a few phone calls and a few, you know, interests and stuff like that that really been serious about me. I haven't set up any visits yet. It's kind of early. Still trying to focus on the school thing, but I've been fortunate to receive a lot of phone calls in the last couple of days.
You want to tell us some of those area codes and phone calls we're coming from?
You know, I give you guys a few. I've heard from Virginia Tech. I've heard from Wisconsin. I've heard from Georgia.
Wisconsin, huh?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you know that's where I'm from.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that. I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
well, and they got they got a big man leaving, Ethan Happ. Tell you a little bit about the program.
That's
Let me tell you a little bit. Let me tell you a little something.
okay.
That the way their offense runs, though, is like molasses. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm a Wisconsin fan through and through.
Yeah.
It's my home, okay? But the way they play is just, it's similar to Virginia.
Okay.
So, I mean, and you'd fit. I mean,
Yeah, I've been, you know, University of Nevada, Tennessee State.
I just want to say something real quick.
Go ahead.
Well, Virginia Tech, we're still on the turn.
yeah, that's Avery. That's his area too up there in Virginia. But yeah, and the other thing too, there's a little bit of a Wisconsin connection with Virginia Tech because you know Buzz before he got there was at Marquette for
Yes,
quite some time
remember that.
and built that. Well, I wouldn't say he built that program, but had
Yeah,
a lot of
pretty good.
success
Yeah,
at
pretty good,
Marquette.
yeah.
And some of those guys he had there are in the league now. So but
I
yeah,
mean,
man, that's
I
awesome.
mean, if I don't go to the Power, if I don't choose to go to the Power 5, I like schools like University of Nevada. That's been pretty good in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
You know, they made some push, you know, in the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they may not be a Power 5 school, but
Yeah.
they're respected. You know,
They got a hell of a coach too.
Yeah,
Musselman.
yeah. So
That man can coach.
yeah, you can coach. So if I also want to look at a program that's kind of, you know, just been there and you know, that usually get the automatic bids
Yeah.
and you know,
Yeah.
that's always fun to play with
Yeah.
and you know try to play at the highest level I can. So you know I won't say Power 5, but obviously I've you know had a few phone calls and
Yeah.
I have to take seriously. But you know for school running around like Nevada or Gonzaga or something like
Yeah.
that, I look at it as well.
Yeah, why not? That opportunity. I mean, I don't think anybody else in your situation would not do the same thing, right? I mean, it would kind of be dumb to not
Yeah.
at least consider it. So kind of talk us through that too now that this will end up being probably your third college that you go to.
Mhm.
To me, that's really, really cool and an interesting
Yeah.
thing, man, because it's almost like a young pro
Yeah,
career,
it's
right? To
good.
where you're experiencing, you know, it could very possibly be 3 different states.
Mhm.
It'll definitely be
likely.
3 different cities,
Yeah, that's
right? So tell us about what that experience has been like so far, and then just going forward. Is that something that you kind of look forward to
Yeah,
as well? That
it's been cool.
experience and
I-
that culture.
Yeah, you know, after high school, I thought I was gonna be at Florida Atlantic for 4 years. I didn't expect to be a transfer or anything like that. And then when I came here, I definitely didn't expect to be a transfer again. But
Mhm.
It's been a cool experience because you know at Florida Atlantic and here, I developed some relationships that I think that's gonna go forever. And you know, sometimes in life it's all about relationships and it's all about who you know.
Mhm.
So that's been a pretty cool. I never thought I was gonna be in school in North Carolina. It's you know I'm a,
Just the way you say it.
you know, I'm from South Florida.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I didn't know anything about Wilmington, North Carolina. I mean,
Mhm.
I knew the Duke and I knew
Yeah,
you know
the
Tar-
Blue Bloods,
yeah,
yeah.
man. But you know, I didn't expect to be here. So who knows where I'm going to be at next year? I may be in the West Coast. I may be, you know, somewhere up north. So I think that's always a cool experience because I'm getting my education done and I'm still playing basketball. And, you know, I'm not going to live there forever. That's just something I'm going for school for. So I can always look back and say, yeah, I was there. I
Yeah.
was there. And I was there. So I got to, be able to see different coaching styles, different teammates. Like, I think it's a pretty cool experience. People look at like 3 schools, 3 years, like what's the problem? Not no problem. You can call any of my past coaches and they'll tell you that I've always been a good kid. I always respected them. Obviously, you have some altercations sometimes, but nothing serious for it to be like, oh, he's a bad kid.
Yeah.
Even my coaches at Florida Atlantic, I called. Someone called me yesterday saying, if I could do anything to help. This is my Florida Atlantic coach.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Absolutely, yeah.
So, I always develop good relationships. I think that's a pretty cool thing that, 3 schools, if you could do it,
Why not?
and it's not hurting you and you could play and still be on track with sometimes the credits don't transfer. So,
Yeah.
I was able to be on track and still able to do everything in line. And, who knows with my grad year, it might be epic. I wanted it to be epic. I wanted it to be,
Hell yeah.
a year for me to remember.
Hell
And
yeah.
I know if I put the work in like I've been doing, I know, it'll be well deserved.
Hell yeah. Well, I know if you go up to Wisconsin, what you're wearing right now,
Yes.
that ain't gonna fly, bro.
It's too cold.
How are
You
the
better,
beaches there?
you bet. There's no such thing as a beach.
Yeah.
You better pack winter jackets that you probably don't even have in your
I'm a
wardrobe
Florida
now.
boy. I don't have no coats.
No.
Mhm.
So you're gonna need, man. You are gonna need a whole new wardrobe.
It'll only be for about 8 months. 8
Yeah.
months, 7 to 8
Well,
months.
yeah, you say that. Yeah, it literally is because
The season of winter.
yes,
Yeah. Oh,
yes, yeah. You say only 8 months. I'm talking. That's how long winter
Wow.
is up there, bro.
I maybe never catch the summer if I go there. I may never
You
catch
probably
summer.
won't. And that's the one thing I can say is the summers up there, they are beautiful, man. And where you would go up in Madison, it's surrounded by lakes. They call Minnesota the land of 10,000 lakes, but Wisconsin is really that.
I've never
that
been
state.
to Wisconsin.
Oh man,
but-
it's just like any state. It's got its ups and downs. Where I grew up outside and around Milwaukee is, it's similar to Raleigh or something.
Okay,
you know
okay.
what I mean? It's a metropolis, you could call it. Madison is definitely the college town.
Okay.
So, and if you want that last year to be epic, Madison might make it epic, bro.
You love Wisconsin?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hate it and love it at the same time, right?
Okay.
Because I think when I was young, I hated it, but now that I've gotten older and I moved away, I have this renewed.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, yeah. I mean,
But-
I would love to play in Florida though.
Yeah,
my last-
that's. I know we've
you
talked
know,
about
yeah, I
that
love to
before,
play,
and go back down there to where your family
Yeah,
can see you on a
that would
weekly
be
basis. That's I
that'd
mean,
be a great opportunity. So
Yeah.
that's something I've been waiting to hear and
Mhm.
trying to if it fits, I'll go. Nothing I force. If it doesn't fit, I don't have to go. But that's just something I would really strongly consider.
Well, and I think it's really cool how you've continued to say that the grad degree is big for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't think a lot of basketball players, obviously I can't talk for everybody,
Yes.
but the position you're in graduating here and pursuing another degree, to me, that alone, that's on you then. You know what I mean? That's your decision to
Yes.
make. That's your life. That's your career. That's Jean's thing. You know what I mean?
Yes,
It's
yes.
not for anybody else to criticize or talk about or assume why. That's your decision.
Yeah.
So I think, I think it's great, man. I'm excited for you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Shit,
thank you.
especially if you go to Wisconsin. I'll have to make some calls and say, hey, buddy of mine's coming up there. Take care of him.
Yeah. Thanks.
But yeah, man, that's great. That's great. So we can kind of close it out if you want. If you got anything else, Mike? Or
One or two last things here. So obviously a lot on your plate
Yeah.
now, thinking
Yeah.
about what the next year holds for you. But what happens after that? It's like one more year of
Yeah.
college. Then
Yes.
I mean, you said when you were in high school, kind of some coaches said, "Hey, man, you got some talent. Obviously, you do. Do you have aspirations to play professionally beyond that next
yes,
year?"
definitely. So so my grade is important on that aspect too because it will determine how I start my pro career and the situations I'll be in and the type of exposure, all that stuff goes into play when you're trying to become a pro. That's why I would love to go to a school that can showcase their players at more TV games and have more exposure. That'll be a good fit, and I think that would be a great opportunity for me. But yeah, I have a dream of being pro. I think I've have the tools if I continue to work. I know I have a long way to go, but I know based on from me being evaluated and people that's been there telling me that I have a shot. So I think it's definitely a dream of mine. I want to continue to push that. So that's why the next year is important. It's pretty much, will determine how I start.
And then, my last thing here. I'm sure Wisconsin's great and all, but you've been in Wilmington now 2 years.
Yeah.
What are some of your spots in Wilmington here, as far as restaurants or just something to do, whatever it is?
It's crazy. I'm from Florida, and I was never a beach guy. But when I came to Wilmington, I became more of a beach guy. I don't know why. It's weird because I don't know. I think because of what my friends do, and they love going to the beach and stuff like that. But I'm from Florida, and I live 2 minutes away from the beach, and I never really been someone that goes on the sand as much. But now that I came to Wilmington, I think that's one of the popular things to do. In Florida, it's like we're so used to it, and
that's
it's
what I was
just
gonna
it's just
say.
there. It's just something that's there. We're used to that. But Wilmington, we emphasize the beach, emphasize the waters. So I think when I came here, I was like, wow. I guess I'll go and see what's up.
And it's a beach culture here.
Yeah, it
right?
is a beach
like
culture.
It's real chill.
Yep.
The whole culture of it. I don't know if Florida,
No,
where
Florida
you're
is
from,
so
is similar.
fast-paced.
Yeah,
So
it's so.
You'll forget that we have palm trees and beaches because it's a city.
Yeah.
It's more of a city life.
Yeah.
The beach is just more. It's there. Everybody from across the world goes, but we sell our stuff by just being a fast pace and a diversity and stuff like that. But Wilmington is it's chill. I like it because it's chill. It's not too much. It's not too little. Like the weather is good. You don't get 4 seasons, but you get more than I got in Florida. Yeah. So
Yeah, you got 2 seasons down there.
yeah.
And a lot of rain.
Hot and rain. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I like Wilmington because it's chill and the people I met, really great people and basketball fans. And I have friends outside of my teammates, so that's been a pretty cool thing to me. Just go to the beach and just relax. It's more like a chill vibe in Wilmington. That's why I like it. It's more relaxed. I love it here.
Absolutely, for sure, man. Well,
Awesome.
we definitely appreciated your time here and even here today. And anything else you want to say? You want to throw out anything else to anyone listening here? This is the UNCW Hawkstream Radio / TealTV.
Well, I just want to thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure for me to come here and speak to you guys. And I want to thank the Seahawks fans for staying strong with us, through ups and downs. They still stay consistent. They was there for us the whole year. And, we've seen a lot of them at the tournament, when we were the 10th seed, and they still came and cheered for us like we're going to win the whole thing. And they kept us. I think that was one of the reasons why we won that first game, because they really gave us hope. And, we still had hope of winning the whole tournament. So I want to thank the fans for that. And I definitely want to thank the coaches for just allowing me to come here and play right away and allowing me to be a leader and, allowing me to play through my mistakes. And I can't thank them enough for that because, who knows, if they didn't give me the opportunity, I wouldn't be able to have a grad year and people being interested. So I want to thank the coach for always being there for me. And once again, thank you again. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you, Gene. We
Yep.
appreciate it. And this was another interview with Hawktalk. Easy in the Beards. Thank you for listening.